Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Decision Hour. I'm Adam, and with me, as always, Patty.
Adam.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm pretty excited about today's show because it's kind of weird. We're doing something a little bit different today. You want to tell everybody what we're talking about?
Sure. So Adam and I were talking on the phone last night, and we came up with a great topic: weirdest jobs in America.
Yeah, like weird jobs, and you think about like different jobs. Have you had any weird jobs yourself? Like what would you say would be like the weirdest job you've had?
I worked very shortly at a morgue.
What the hell? Like I didn't know that. What? Are you serious?
Very, very, very shortly. My friend worked there, and it was not with like the bodies or anything.
Oh, okay.
Just like answering phone calls in a totally separate section. And it was actually a really nice facility. It was very high tech.
Very clean.
Very clean. It was not gross. It was really a pretty place because I wasn't even near any of the. Oh,
okay. I thought maybe you were like,
no,
like dolling them up or doing the makeup or.
Oh gosh, no. Nope, that's not for me.
Embalming the bodies or something.
No,
that's weird.
Nope. I mean, if you're out there listening and you do that, more power to you. But that's definitely not for me.
Morticians. Is that what's called? Morticians? I believe that's what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot of money doing that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
I think you'd have to. I mean, like for me, there's just no way I'd want to do that.
You're around a bunch of stiffs all day. I mean, it's
no. I won't talk to you or anything.
No, nothing. And we just lost all of our listeners. Oh, God. Sorry.
I mean, you asked. You should know better to ask.
I know. That's.
What about you?
I haven't really. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if I've had like any weird jobs. Like, I worked at Burger King. That was like one of my first jobs. Mm-hmm. I worked at a place called Just for Feet, and I used to clean.
Oh.
I used to clean, like, it was the world's largest shoe store back in the day, and I used to like. I was known as like the shoe cleaner dude. So it had like these cans of shoe cleaner, and people would walk in. I'd clean their shoes and whatnot.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's really not.
Have to clean their feet.
No. That's really it. I mean, I've had some, I guess, decent jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
me too.
And nothing really like out of the ordinary. Not like anything that we're about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because some of these jobs were just like, what the fuck? We get paid for this? Like, I'm going to start looking in my local area.
Right. I mean, even just you and I, Adam, we take a lot of applications for people to be guests on our show.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when we rolled out our application to be a guest on the show, we actually had somebody from Tampa who was a bathroom concierge contact us, and he wanted to be on the show.
Yeah. That what do you do? I mean...
Yeah, so he said that not only does he make sure that the bathroom stays clean, right? He goes in there and he tells jokes to the people who are coming into the bathroom, and he keeps them entertained. Like
I've seen like bathroom concierge, like high end like hotels. Sometimes will have them. Mm-hmm. Even some different clubs that you go to across the country will have them. And, you know, you get like the little mints and they'll wash your hands after you wash your hands and like, you know, spray deodorant or not deodorant, but like cologne and stuff on.
Right.
You. For somebody to like sit there and like tell a joke while you're, you know, trying to do your stuff, that'd be a little different. Like, listen, man.
Yeah. He said he actually in his, he has a book.
Really?
Yes. And he talks about all the different things that he does in the bathroom for people.
That's oh, Jesus. This show just literally went south. It's still early here, folks. We haven't had our full cups of coffee yet, so just
That's right.
Just bear with us here as we muster through this. All right, so the first one. So we're jumping right into it. The first one is
the bathroom concierge.
Bathroom concierge. Okay, so The next one, I have one. It's a face feeler. Like feeling people's faces.
I don't let most people feel my
like
face.
what do you like? What are you doing? Like, here, I'm going to pay you to touch my face. Actually, what it is they test for like skincare products and like after razors and stuff like that to see how the skin feels and whatnot. So they use it's kind of like a science type job where they're providing feedback to a company on what their product does to people's faces.
Right, and that's a really personal space that you're invading.
Yeah, it is, because I can't imagine sitting there. I mean, I'm sure like if it was like a massage where you're getting like a facial and whatnot, like, hey, do a hot towel and you're getting, massaging my sinuses and my cheekbone, jawline, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm all for it, but
yeah, during a massage you do get that, but it's still kind of weird to me.
What else do we got?
Oh boy, so how about? So that was number 2.
Yep.
Right, a face feeler is number 2. Number 3, I would say a cuddler, a professional cuddler. I don't even know. Like, can you imagine? First of all, it's like you have to go pay somebody to cuddle you, right?
Yeah.
And I will say, I am a really feely person. Like when I was growing up, I always was given hugs, and so that's I like personal touch with a person that you care about.
Right. Complete stranger.
Right. I mean, how do you even know what you're walking into? Like, you call up this number, hey, I'd like a professional cuddler for an hour. Somebody's just going to hold you for an hour. You don't know them. You don't know what they smell like. You don't know what they look like. You don't know anything. What if they're a creeper?
Yeah, I mean, in a job like that, there's obviously some, risk, I would say, that's probably involved. And you got to be careful with stuff like that. Just the fact of being a professional cuddler, like, what do you do for a living? I'm a professional cuddler.
What do you? Yeah, and on the flip side,
like I spoon people for a living. Like, what do you?
What about the clients who come in? Like, can you reject? Like, okay, I don't want this guy because.
I'd be. I don't know if anybody's listening to this right now. Send us an email. If you're a professional cuddler, we want to hear from you. I'd be very intrigued and curious. Like, what does the job entail? Like the do and don'ts. I mean, obviously, it would sound like, hey, you're just cuddling somebody, but there's got to be like a big, like, disclosure. I'm sure there's like a thing that people have to sign, kind of thing. Like, what happens if,
yeah.
There's just too many. I can't. It's too early, and there's just too many. There's too many puns in that one.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, I need a professional cuddler, and then some dude shows up. I'm like,
I mean, it's proven that human touch is really good for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I don't know. Maybe you're so busy. Maybe professional cuddlers are for people that aren't on the dating scene or whatnot, because they just have a very busy life and they need that human interaction.
No strings attached. Just have somebody hold you for an
hour.
Hey,
you know what? I don't have to worry about this. There's no emotion involved. It's just nice to,
Yeah, they say that, but with women, there's always emotion involved.
With a complete stranger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
It could happen. What if you're holding somebody for an hour and then all of a sudden the woman goes, or, I mean, there are some emotional men too, right?
Yeah. I can't imagine paying somebody to cuddle
There's
with.
too many people in the world. It seems like they do it for free.
Yeah.
Why pay somebody for that?
Professional cuddler. Huh. That's very interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's one. A deodorant tester. Like, okay, so we saw the picture on this one, and like guys were like testing the deodorant, and like women, the scientists or whatever, their nose was all up in their armpits testing out this deodorant.
Yeah.
The different types of deodorant. I'm sure there's, but a deodorant, getting paid to be a deodorant tester.
Smell armpit sniffer is basically it.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if I could do that.
Same with like a breath sniffer. They have that. They have people who do all sorts of smelling tests. Ugh.
Yeah, there's one. I'm saving the last one. That's a really, really good one. But yeah, so deodorant tester. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
I wonder if there's any because there's not that we're sponsored by any deodorant company or anything like that, but you hear like some antiperspirants cause or have linked to like cancer or something like that. I wonder if like if you test that, I wonder if there's like a waiver that you have to sign. I mean, you'd think like if you're testing a bunch of product, I don't know. I'm just curious, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I wonder if there's certain waivers that you have to sign, like you cannot talk about this type of deodorant or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it left a rash on this person here, but.
Yeah, it really could be. I mean, what about the fumes from it? Are there any cancer-causing agents in it that, you know?
Yeah, you don't know. It's really weird. Mm-hmm. Deodorant tester. What do you got?
Okay, so dog food tester.
What?
Yeah, like, would you want to eat dog food for your job? Do they do it 8 hours a day?
No,
do they gain weight?
I don't know. Maybe they, probably not, because there's usually a lot of fiber in dog food. So I would reckon that would probably,
Do they grow dog fur?
Flush you out. It's Jesus. I don't know why I keep scratching behind my ears. I just dog food. I don't. Dog food tester. I could think of a couple of people that I know, even some that are family members that would enjoy that job. They sit there and they'll test dog food. They'll eat dog food, and you're just like, that just doesn't seem right.
Ugh. No.
I couldn't do that. So yeah, people get paid to eat dog food. Mm-hmm. And they probably, what's sad is they probably get paid pretty good money to do it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you're drinking it with like a Red Bull or just pop or something like that, maybe.
You wouldn't get the full flavor though.
At that point, hey, listen, you're paying me $40,000, $50,000 to sit in a room to eat dog food for a few hours a day. Who gives a shit? I couldn't do it. I'm just saying, I could not eat dog food. Well, I suppose I could if it was a survival situation, but we're not talking about that today. So,
not today.
Here's one that I find very intriguing: an ash portrait.
Yeah, that is interesting.
This is when a loved one gets cremated, and you can hire an artist that will take the ashes and make it into like whether it's like a necklace or some type of glass portrait, or like little what do you call those little glass like little statue type thing. Anyway, they make the ashes into like a little thing that you can save, and it's really really some of the pieces that I've seen online are really quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So I have a story about that. My grandfather was cremated and buried in a place in Michigan, and my mom decided that she wanted to dig up his cremains. They're in a box, right? Mm-hmm. And she wanted to be buried with him when she died. And so she went to the funeral or to the cemetery, and she had that done because you have to like inform the cemetery you're going to do that. And she arranged for them to dig up his cremains that were in a box. And she decided that she wanted to save a little money and transfer his cremains from the box into an urn. And so she's like, will you help me? And so I was like, okay, because it's just ashes, right? I mean, so we go pick up the cremains. We have the urn. We have it all set up in my living room. So we're going to pour the ashes from the box into
Why do I see this
urn.
Boy?
Well, if you don't know, ashes are really powdery.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, like we open up the box, and as soon as we open up the box, like poof, my grandpa's ashes start going like in my living room, right? I'm pretty sure I inhaled some of them. And so we're sitting there trying to pour the ashes from the box into the urn. and trying not to make a mess. But I swear, like, probably for a week later, I still would find like little pieces of ash. So Grandpa didn't make it all the way from the box into the urn.
I knew that was coming. Like, you just...
And my sister, she's like, can you scrape up some ashes and give them to me? Because I want to make a necklace out of Grandpa's ashes. And my mom was like having a fit. No, don't give her any ashes. Like, that's whatever. You're not supposed to do that. So some people believe like you should keep all of the ashes together.
Because it's like bad luck if you separate.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's
my ash story.
So you got your grandfather
inside of my body, literally, from inhaling his ashes. So there's something else you didn't know about me, Adam.
Oh my God.
In my lungs.
Not
a lot, but I'm sure. Because I remember coughing. And I remember my mom coughing. We were laughing so hard, and we both had tears rolling down our face.
I could... Oh my God! Sorry.
Mm-hmm. We were just, our faces were probably.
How long had he since he'd passed? Since
probably at least 10 years at that point.
Oh really? Wow! So quite a while. Wow.
Yeah. So they stay fluffy.
Oh my God, Patty! Jeez. Oh, all right. Moving on. The next one, weird jobs. Right? That's what we're talking about right now, folks. We're talking weird jobs. Here's a weird job, a chicken sexer.
That's Adam's favorite job.
Yeah. Chicken sexer. Like, literally, what they do is these scientists, they go in with the baby chicks and they find the sex of these baby chickens. Mm-hmm. I thought that was just...
Oh, this one's being a cock. It must be a boy. Yeah.
Save that one for a meme. Okay. Patty, what's the next one? Chicken sexer. Can you imagine that? Just, what do you do? I can't say it. Next.
Yeah, next. A pro mourner. I know some people who would be perfect for this job because they're always crying and whining.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is that? I mean, I'm going to pay you to come cry at...
Yeah, at so-and-so's funeral because they didn't have any friends.
I'd be like, I'm going to pay you to come cry at my wedding.
Like at the funeral, I could see, like, you're not there. Like, who cares? Which, yeah, you talk about the wedding thing, Adam. People do get paid to go to weddings.
Yeah, like wedding crashers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, not wedding crashers, but I say wedding crashers because of the movie. But there are people that get paid to. What was that movie with Kevin Hart recently? It came out within the last couple of years where he got paid to be like the groomsman. That's
I forgot about that.
That's an actual job. Like, and they do that. A lot of brides and stuff will hire. Like, I'm gonna hire a bridesmaid. Mm-hmm. And weren't you telling me? I know I don't know if these were. I don't think either one of these made the list, but now that we're talking about it, like they get paid like anywhere from $300 to $2,500 to be like, oh my God.
You know, I can see why though, because like as I get older, I can honestly say that it's a lot easier to pay people for what you need.
Yeah, as opposed to like
trying to find somebody who really
somebody in the family or somebody
that's
supposed to be caring about, like, oh, I'm going to do this for free. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to pay to make sure this shit's right. This is my
I'm going to pay you.
It's my special day. Right. Yeah, mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. Here's one that kind of surprised me. A train pusher. Now, these are pretty popular, not so much in the U.S., but like in London and in Japan, they have people that actually push people onto the train. Not the train tracks, people. I'm talking about the trains. Because obviously when you think of like London subways and you think of Japan, which is very, very populated, you get on these bullet trains and the subways and stuff like that, and they try to cram as many people into these trains as possible. So they have people there. You get paid to push people into the trains.
Yeah.
That pissed me off, quite frankly. Like, I wouldn't want somebody shoving me or like, listen, don't do that. Don't touch me. Mm-hmm. Don't touch me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Train pusher.
I actually did see photos. Like if you Google train pusher.
Yeah.
people pusher. You can see photos of these people literally smashing into other people to smush them into the train before the door shut.
Yeah, I could do that. I'd just give him an old shoulder and nudge him in there. Get on in there. The last one I have. Been waiting for this the whole show. Mm-hmm. This one here is called the Flatulence Smell Reduction Underwear Maker.
That's so gross. That's the most disgusting one, and that's why he was saving it for that. Because he knew I was almost going to throw up. Oh, so disgusting.
You're basically a fart smell reduction underwear maker. That's what you are. It's actually, it's so what the job entails is you're engineering for an underwear maker to reduce the smell of flatulence through the fabric.
Like I can feel throw up in my throat. So disgusting.
Like can you imagine what like holiday dinners like and stuff like that? How's work going? Well,
what the heck? Yeah, how is work going?
Yeah, well, the fart rooms, you know, it's pretty potent lately. We're testing.
Like tacos?
Yeah,
like,
Jesus God.
What would you... So gross. How could you even eat after that? I'd have to, like... I don't know. Like, what would you eat?
You would... I hope... And I didn't look. I did not look to see how much a flatulent smell reduction underwear maker makes, but I would hope that it would be pretty good. And you better be pretty damn good at your job.
You better have good benefits.
I wonder if they get hazardous pay.
Mental health care.
Yeah, like, oh, God.
The stomach doctor. What do you call it? Oh, you take those. You have to have that medicine.
What do you do for a living? I make underwear that hides the smell of your farts. That's basically what I do. You're like, what do you say to that? Like, oh yeah, it's no wonder he's still a bachelor. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would?
Like, how do you say that on a date? Like, what do you do for a living? I make underwear. Oh, that's not that bad. I smell farts for a living. Like, what are you? I'm sorry, what
so
was that?
Disgusting. Their Tinder profile, really, where it says occupation.
Swipe left.
Disgusting. Keep swiping.
Oh my God, Patty. Listen, we're already out of time. That's all the time we got for today's show. You got any?
I have to go lay down.
You gonna hire a professional cuddler?
I'm gonna, yes.
You got any closing words before we let everybody go about their day?
Be thankful for the good smells in life.
Oh, I love it. Folks, that's all the time that we have. But before we let you go, make sure you check out our parent company, Heroes Media Group. Go check out all the new shows that recently have joined the family. And check out some of our sponsors up there. Simply going to www.heroesmediagroup.com. And also, if you're interested, if you want to start your own podcast, or if you have a book and you want it in an audio format, Heroes Media Group is now a audio publisher. So check them out and reach out to them. Until next time, for Patty, I'm Adam. You've been listening to The Decision Hour.